again everyone to G Squared Academy. Alright, so we have been looking at naming our alkenes. In our first video we looked at naming straight alkenes. In the second video we looked at naming branched alkenes. Now we're looking at naming substituted alkenes. Now just remember, a substitute, it's just like in sports. You are replacing someone with another person, so it's a substitute. In organic chemistry, what we find is that because carbon and hydrogen is the most common bond, carbon-hydrogen bond is the most common bond you'll find, you're pretty much replacing a hydrogen with something. And generally, you replace those things with chlorine, bromine, iodine, of course, fluorine. There are other groups you could replace them with as well, but at the genesis of your organic chemistry, these are the most common things that you're going to see replacing hydrogens. So we want to now be able to name a substituted alkene. So here's an alkene. There you go, my double bond. No, I'm going to make this substituted. There you go. So it's now substituted. You know it's an alkene because it has the carbon-carbon double bond. You know it's substituted because this chlorine has replaced the hydrogen. So we want to name it. First step, make sure you find out the number of carbons in the longest carbon chain. So you're going to find the longest carbon chain. How do we do that? We count in every possible direction to see the maximum number of carbons we're going to get. So watch this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because this is not carbon, this is chlorine. So the maximum number of carbons we get is actually 5. So we now need to find the prefix of 5, which is pent. And then you add the suffix "ene." So this is pentene. Wonderful. Now what you want to do is you want to identify the position of the double bond, and you want to give the double bond the lowest possible number. So you're going to count from left to right and from right to left to determine which two numbers the double bond is between, and you're trying to find the lowest number. If I count from left to right, this is 1, 2, 3. So the double bond is between 2 and 3. There you go. If I count from right to left, 1, 2, 3, the double bond is between 3 and 4. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So we therefore will number our carbon chain from left to right. Okay? So watch this now. We now have identified the position of our double bond. Okay, we want to make sure that the summation of the double bond, the position of the double bond and the position of the substituent or the substitute has the lower number. Let me explain what I mean by that a little bit further. When I add up the position of the double bond, we're saying this is at position 2, and we add the position of the substituent to that, we should get the lowest number possible, right? So in this case, our double bond is at position 2, so that's 2 over there. Now when we're counting from left to right, our substituent is at position 3, as you can see right there. The chlorine is on carbon number 3. So now that's 2 plus 3. So that's equal to 5. Now if we were to actually count from right to left, then 1, 2, 3, the double bond would be on 3, and the substituent would be on 3 as well. So that's 3 plus 3, that's equal to 6. So let's do that again. See, from right to left, 1, 2, 3, double bond between 3 and 4, if you're counting from right to left, and the substituent is on carbon number. Alright, so now you see, as I was saying, that if you count from left to right, the double bond is between 2 and 3, and the substituent is on position 3. And of course, for the double bond, we use the lower number. So 2 is less than 3, so we say it's 2 pentene. Hence, that 2 is right there. Then the substituent is on 3, so it's 3. And 2 plus 3 is 5. So we have numbered in the correct order, thankfully. So now we can put in those numbers. Since it's pentene, the position of the double bond is 2. right? Now we need to identify our substituent. It's chlorine. Now in organic chemistry, we tend to use these shortened versions of the name to identify them. So for chlorine, it's actually chloro. Okay, so it's chloro 2-pentene. So we can write that. And of course, you must, final thing, you must tell where this substituent is. Okay, you must tell where it is, because it could be here, it could be here, it could be here, which it is there, it could be there, it could be there. So chloro 2-pentene doesn't necessarily, it tells you what's present, where the double bond is, but it doesn't tell you where the chlorine is. So you have to tell the person where the chlorine is, the examiner in this case. Okay, and the chlorine is on position 3, so we just put a 3 there. There you go. So that's the name of our species, 3-chloro-2-pentene. That's how you name these substituted alkenes. I'm just going to do one more example so that we can actually cement this thing over here. So I have another piece of paper here. Let us look at this now. So let's look at another example. And of course, I'm using the skeletal. I've been using the skeletal all this time. I'm making this one a little bit simpler. Okay, so I'm going to put my double bond right there. I could have put my double bond anywhere, but you know, I just decided to put it there. And I'm going to put my substituent right here. In this case, I'm going to use iodine. Okay, it doesn't matter what I use, you know, but I'm going to be using iodine. So first thing again, make sure you try to get the longest carbon chain. So you're going to count left to right, right to left. So from left to right first, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right to left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Very simple, nothing too complex there. So the prefix for 4 carbons is bute. Great. And of course, our suffix for alkenes is always "ene." So we write our butene. Then now we need to identify the position of the double bond. Now the rule is that you should give the double bond the lower possible number. Okay, give the double bond the lower possible number. So if I count from left to right, the double bond is between carbon 1 and carbon 2. There you go. See right there, carbon 1 and carbon 2. Of course, we would say it is position 1 because it's bonded to carbon number 1 and 1 is less than 2. And then now, we want to just make sure we check where's the position of the substituent that we number in the correct order. But even before we do that, what you should remember is, and the rule is that the double bond takes priority. You want to give the double bond the lower number. So let me show you what I mean by that on the paper. If I count from left to right, yes, the double bond is between 1 and 2, so the double bond is on position 1. If I count from right to left, it's 1, 2, 3. The double bond is between 3 and 4. And so therefore, we would say it's at position 3. Now let's look at this. If I count from left to right, the substituent is at position 1, 2, 3. Notice this is now 3. Okay? But if I count from right to left, the substituent is at position 1, 2. Position 2, which means that counting from right to left, the substituent is at position 2 and the double bond is at position 3. Highlight that. So there you go, 1, 2. I hope you can see that it's a bit faint. 1, 2. Okay, let me brighten it a bit. Yes, so you see, and then the double bond will be over here. But if you count from right to left, the substituent gets the priority because it would have the lower number. And remember what I said, the double bond takes priority, which means that we're not going to be numbering from right to left. We will number from left to right so that the double bond has the lower number. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not concerned with those numbers anymore. Okay, good. So our double bond therefore is at position number 1. Okay, then we can identify our substituent. We already know where it is. We just want to tell what it is. So it's at position 3. But what is it? It's iodine. And of course, as I said previously, we use shortened versions of these names. So it's iodo for iodine. Iodo. So it's 3 iodo, 1 butene. 3 iodo, 1 butene. There you go. And that's it. I hope you guys find and you have been finding these videos helpful. Remember, you can reach out to me at gsquaredacademy@gmail.com. Leave a comment if there's something that you don't understand. If it's something you want me to clarify for you, just leave a comment in the comment section. Of course, like the video, please. Subscribe to my channel. You will get very simplistic explanations of things here that will really help you, and I hope they really do help you. So like, share, subscribe.